It's me again, because I'm awesome. Everyone is awesome. Everyone is cool when you're part of a team. I don't even know if that's the word. Anywho, so I'm doing my very first Storytime video because why not? As you can tell by the title, this is how I deal with depression and anxiety. I have been suffering with anxiety since I was 7 years old. I'm not going to go into the details of what happened. Depression I have had since I was in 6th grade, and I was bullied really, really bad. I was called all sorts of names, which again, I'm not going to go into details with because I'm not comfortable putting my health issues out there quite yet. Depression and anxiety is some of the hardest things that I've had to overcome in my life, and I still haven't overcome it. All throughout elementary school I was bullied, but not as bad. I was mostly called fat. Everybody would be like, oh, you're fat, blah 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 blah. Well then, I get into middle school, 6th grade, right off the bat, I'm being bullied for everything. I'm being bullied for how I look, because puberty doesn't treat, before puberty and during puberty, nobody looks smoking hot. And I was a mess during puberty. It was ridiculous. So, there was how I looked, how my hair looked, how my weight was, which evidently caused me to gain more weight, to the point where I was touching almost 250. And it made me feel worse about myself. Next thing I know, I'm not able to get out of bed as easy. I'm constantly tired. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to the store. I don't want to go anywhere. I didn't even want to sit in the living room with my family. I just wanted to be in my room, laying in bed, sleeping, constantly. I didn't know that feeling right away. So, 6th grade, I got a surgery, and after 6th grade, I switched schools. And then I was going to a different school. Well, in this school, I had the hugest crush on one of these boys. Well, my so-called friend turned around and made a fake notebook, writing his name all over it, and writing, Brittany reading hearts, blah blah, Brittany reading hearts, blah blah. And then she made do you remember those little MASH things we used to do? She did that. She put hearts all around it. She wrote his name multiple times, putting a heart around it. And she drew little stick figures kissing with a heart above them. And she made it out like it was mine. Clearly wasn't my handwriting because it was too neat, but she made it out to be like it was mine, thus humiliating me. And then that boy came up to me and he's like, hey, I know you like me, but we can't be friends. And then he started bullying me. And then I continued going to that school in 8th grade. And he kind of grew up a little bit. He was like, hey, I'm sorry for what happened last year. Add me on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Well, then he kind of starts drifting away again. Because that girl did the same thing. Except she was like, Brittany messaged me on Facebook and she was saying how much she liked you and she's obsessed with you. She tried saying I knew where he lived. I don't know where the boy lives. Now, I know she was like that because they dated in 6th grade, which I don't even think you can count that as a boyfriend because you're in 6th grade. But basically what she was trying to do was she was trying to sabotage any possible relationship that was there. Which there could have been, because when I told him I was moving, he got really upset about it, and he told me he didn't want me to move. That's when he came out and he said that he liked me. But then, after I moved, he blocked me on Facebook. That makes logical sense, huh? So then, I get into high school. Freshman year is fantastic. But then, I meet this girl, and she introduces me to one of her friends. But then her best friend, I say this because this girl, not the girl I was friends with, but this other girl, was a total fucking bitch. She tells everyone and somehow gets boys to agree with her or to do it too. She goes around saying that I gave about 10 or 15 boys an STD. I was not doing any of that shit in high school. In high school, my main concern was school. Later that year, in October of 2011, I was in the hospital for my health issues. Like I said, I'm not going to go into great detail. I will say this. I have an augmented bladder, a form of spina bifida called caudal regression syndrome. That's as far into the details as I'm getting. But in October 2011, my bladder perforated. Meaning, if you don't know what that means, it ruptured per se. And I had urine going into my abdomen, which is very deadly. I was in the hospital, and that was the least bad, I don't know what I'm trying to say, least bad bladder perforation I had. I've had 3 before the age of 20. When I got back to school in like November or December, that girl had gone around and told everyone that I was in the hospital because of my STDs. So I was humiliated. I came home crying. My mom called the school. My mom literally called the damn school. And she was like, hey, there's this girl named Valerie. She's spreading rumors about Oh, sorry about that. My computer died, and it was already like midnight to begin with, and it's almost midnight now. It's okay, not that close. It's actually only 10:30. But I didn't feel like doing my hair and makeup, so I'm sorry. I look awful. As I was saying before, my mom calls the school and she's like, "Hey, Valerie's spreading rumors about my daughter. She's saying that she got an STD and she's still a virgin. She hasn't even had sex yet, blah, 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 blah." So I get called down to the office. And at my high school, there was a white office, a blue office, and an orange office. I was called down to the orange office because I was the only office with a female counselor. Well, the counselor didn't help at all. She tried to help, but unfortunately there was nothing she could do. Junior year, I started going to an online high school called eAchieve. Well, I was getting bullied there. The worst part about it was I went to the principal and he didn't do a damn thing. This girl, she was always making me out to be a bad person because I'm not religious. We were doing a Google Hangout one night with a bunch of our friends, and she literally scolded me and my mom for swearing in front of my siblings. She told us, "Oh, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You guys need Jesus in your life, blah, 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 blah." Okay, well, that's my family. If my parents had a problem with me swearing in front of my siblings, 1, they wouldn't swear in front of my siblings, and 2, they would have told me. I emailed him. I'm like, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so, I'm being harassed. This girl's telling me that, I need Jesus. She's telling me I can't swear. She's telling me all this stuff, and I really need you to talk to her and tell her to stop." Well, he emails me back and says, "For religious purposes, I can't do anything about it. I'll do how I cope with my depression, and then I'll do how I cope with my anxiety." How I cope with my depression. I crochet, I draw, I do my makeup, I do my hair, I watch makeup tutorials, I watch hair tutorials, I watch Shane Dawson, I watch Tana Mojo, I watch Jenna Marbles, I watch Grey's Anatomy. I do something to distract myself. I just find things to distract me. I try to exercise. I dance. I cope with my anxiety, usually long after I've had an anxiety attack, and I've been having it for a good half hour or so. What's that 5 senses thing we do? What's 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can taste, 2 things you can feel. Did I say smell yet? You're a lot of fucking help. And then 1 something. I don't know if I said smell yet. It's probably smell. One thing that helps me personally, and probably anybody else in my position, is I have my boyfriend, which he's the one who helps me with that 5 senses thing. What the fuck you doing? And usually what we'll do is he'll lay on his back, and then I'll lay next to him, but I'll lay my head on his chest, and I'll listen to his heartbeat, and that's something that calms me down personally. I know this video is really depressing, and it sucks. And you can probably tell I'm trying not to cry, but I don't like showing my emotions. I don't like crying in front of people. And the only reason I'm making this video is because I want a little girl to come across my video, and I want her to be able to overcome at a young age. If you suffer depression, go to your parents. I didn't go to my parents because when I found out the symptoms of depression and I said, hey, I think I might have depression, everyone around me, I mean minus my parents, everyone around me was like, oh, you don't have depression, you get out of bed just fine, you're not depressed, you're not sad, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, I don't like showing my emotions. For people to tell me at a young age that I can't be depressed because I'm young, or I'm not depressed because I'm happy, when they don't know that I'm hiding my true feelings, it made me scared to go to my parents. I was scared they were going to tell me the same thing. And I regret waiting until I was 18 to get help. Because I feel like I'm too far gone now. I really hope this video helps somebody. If this video helps at least one person, that will have made this whole worth it. End the video here because I'm just sad today. I will see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. If you found this video helpful, please comment and let me know. If you have any questions, tweet me, message me on Facebook, comment. I will respond to anyone who comments on this video or needs help. I don't care what the circumstances are. I will help you. I will be a shoulder. I will be an ear. I will be whatever you need me to be. So